involved with Queen of Sheba. And Sheba is the modern day Ethiopia. He had a son with this Queen of Sheba by the name of Menelik. It is Menelik. Research him. Menelik the first was the son of Solomon. Once Menelik became the ruler and the king of Ethiopia, Ethiopia no longer served pagan gods. From that point on, they began to worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because Solomon, being from the tribe of Judah, made Menelik and all his descendants from the tribe of Judah. Okay? So you have Israelites today in Ethiopia who worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? So that's your precept for that. 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, and the first 13 verses, you will be able to see when Queen of Sheba and Solomon got together. All right, let's go first. Let's go verse 28.
28 says, was returning and sitting in his chariot, Esau and the prophet.
Okay, so we see here, he had went to Jerusalem to worship. Now, I can get into that. It was an actual feast going on. For the sake of time, we won't dive into that. But he was on his way back to Ethiopia, and he was reading Isaiah the prophet, which is in the Old Testament. Let me mind you, just for the sake of debate, you need to realize this is well before the word ever got to any European nation. Okay? So he was on his way back, and he was reading the book of Isaiah. All right, let's go to verse 29.
Then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot.
Okay.
And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah and said, understandest thou what thou readest?
So, there's two key things that we need to see here. Number one, Philip just wasn't out there on the road saying, you know what, I'm going to win me somebody. The Spirit of the Lord is what took him there. We see that in verse 26, that he was sent by an angel of the Lord to meet this Ethiopian eunuch. Then we see that the Spirit said to Philip, go and overtake this chariot. And he heard him reading from the prophet Isaiah. All right, read verse 31.
And he said, how can I accept some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
So he said, listen, yeah, I'm reading it, but I don't understand exactly what it is that I'm saying, what it's saying here. You know, come up and help me get some understanding of this. This is what we're supposed to say. The Bible tells us that we're supposed to always remain teachable. And one of the problems that's going on with our people is we became so stiff-necked and hard-headed that we don't want nobody to tell us nothing. So we would rather form our own opinion instead of actually getting into the truth and letting somebody show us what's going on today. But today, you're going to get the truth of who you are today. Right? All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Verse 31.
And he said, how can I accept some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
Okay, keep going.
The place of the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb done before his shears, so opened he not his mouth.
Keep going.
In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away, and who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth.
So we're seeing here that he's reading out of the book of Isaiah. Now let's see what Philip responds to this. Verse 34.
And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this? Of himself or some other man?
So he asked him, he said, listen, is Isaiah talking about himself, or this another person, another man that he's speaking of that's going to be led to the sheep to the slaughter, that will be taking away this earth, that in his own humiliation, that his justice will be taken away? Now let's see what Philip said to him in verse 35.
Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Jesus.
Keep going.
And as they went unto their way, they came unto a certain water. And the eunuch said, See, here is water. What thou hinder me to be baptized?
Wow. So Philip is preaching Christ to him. And when they came and they began to travel a little bit further, he said, you see that water over there? Hey man, would you baptize me? And look what Philip said.
And Philip said, If thou believest with all thy heart, thou mayest. And he answered and said, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
Wow. Wow. So we're seeing right here that the Ethiopian eunuch accepted Christ, and this is in the early century of AD. They want to make you believe that no man of color didn't know anything about Christ until he came here as a slave on slave ships in America. And we see here that that was a lie. Right? There's more. Let's go to Acts the 13th chapter. Now I'm about to show you what happened when the word first got to the European continent. The first time they ever laid foot on the European continent was in the city of Antioch, what is in modern day Turkey. Now, yes, you had some Middle Eastern, what we would call Japhetic people in that area, but also because of Rome owning that territory, you had mostly Europeans, people of Roman descent, in this area. Because Antioch was a prominent city in this area where a lot of people came to for trade and all types of different things going on. All right, so we're here in Acts 13 chapter. Read the first part of that first verse there.
Now that there were in the church of Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger, and the Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the tyrant and Saul.
Wow. I'm going in here and typing this in here so you can see it on Google. All right. So you can actually see this for yourself.
The connection been paused. It had a bad connection.
Okay.
Is you connected to the Wi-Fi? No.
Yeah. I'm about to get off of it.
All right, back on.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put this to your screen here.
You connected on this one. You connected to Wi-Fi on this one.
Uh-huh.
You sure?
Yeah, we connect. I about got to get out of here for a second. But anyway, I'll tell you what. Go into your own time and put in Google and put define Niger. And that means black. Black. So when the prophets, read that verse again for them. Read that verse again. Acts the 13th chapter, verse 1.
Now there were in the church that was at Enoch certain prophets,
Antioch.
certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that were called
Niger. So when these people got here to Antioch and started the church there, they were calling them black. They never told you that, did they? They never ever told you that, did they? They told you that the first time you heard anything about Christ, anything about the Bible, you heard it from somebody of our Caucasian brothers and sisters. But that was a lie. Because when the word came to Europe, it came from people that looked like you and me. Why are we not seeing this in the churches? Why are we not telling this? Why are these scriptures all these scriptures that we've read here so far today, why are none of them discussed in the Bible? In the churches? Why haven't our parents and our grandparents been told about this so they can tell us, so we can have an idea of what's going on? The reason why our people are going around this world trying to figure out who they are and what's going on, and because they don't have an identity, and the only thing that can give them identity, they've been taught that it didn't belong to them, that it had nothing to do with them. And we see that that is a lie. But there's more. Go to Acts, the 21st chapter. Let me show you something else. Now, we know that they made the movie with Charleston Heston called The Ten Commandments, and we know that they had that star